I'm a corporate recruiter, the headless headhunter, and I'm here to review your resumes to get you ahead of your job search. So the resume we have up first is, and I use this tentatively, a Java software engineer. They stated Java backend engineer, which is a title, but then in their note they said they're trying to apply to RevCelerator programs, Android software engineer, backend developer, and for like Datadog, Iterable, and Amazon. And the problem is a Java Android resume is going to be different than a backend Java engineer resume. So, and they're in Portugal. And I have not recruited in Portugal before. I don't know if these are going to be the correct qualifications. So these may be slightly off. But for a United States Java backend software engineer, which is what I have to review this based on, and I do other reviews besides just IT and tech, but that's the most common that's sent to me. So we're going to review this entirely as a Java backend engineer. And what I'm going to be looking for is Java, Spring, Spring Boot, SQL, RESTful API, microservices, OOP, Git, other APIs, cloud architecting, and bonuses for Kafka, Full Stack, Agile, CI/CD, and Hibernate. And this was a yeet on my meter yeet. And the reason for that was for one simple reason. I could not, for the life of me, find Java in this resume. Could not. So they have it here. So first off, let's go on the formatting. Your formatting should look like this. That's my full name. I can dox myself. This is what your formatting should look like, okay? And this is how to do it. The problem with this was it's so hard to read, I wasn't able to get as far down as I could. So this should not be bolded nor italicized. Nothing here should be bolded or italicized. This should be one line, and I don't know if you need your specialization. That might be something that's common in Portugal but not in the US. And you don't need this because you need to show me how you did it in this. So same with this. This should be one line as well. Then nothing here should be bolded. This should be bolded, but there should be no line. And nothing here should be bolded. Okay, please stop bolding everything. You can even see how I messed up on it because I think I missed stuff because everything was so bolded and I had 15 seconds, well, 20 seconds to look for it. So here's the thing. I am looking for Spring OOP. I don't care about BPMN. That actually is something I'm looking for. I am looking for RESTful APIs. This was good. Where's the Java? Now, you're immediately going to say, now, hold on, Lee. Hold on. What are you talking about? Spring implies Java. What foolish recruitment are you that you cannot tell that Spring equals Java? Well, no. Here's why. If it's not on your resume, it doesn't exist. And that is the number one rule for everybody, not just software engineers. I have been using this methodology for like over a decade to get accountants jobs by putting in basic stuff like Excel, even if it's implied that they've used it. Same with nurses and managers. If it's the number one resume rule, number two. Number one is make sure your contact information is correct. Number two is if it's not on your resume, it does not exist. So yes, they say Java here, but again, I need to know how they did it. How did they use Java and the reason or result of doing it? In this case, all they needed to say was design backend development for an automation tool using Java Spring OOP, which enabled process standardization. That's all I needed. But they don't. They don't have it, and thus I'm going to assume they did not do it. I am aware that the title is not as relevant as the duties. So, designed and implemented microservices, good. I actually missed microservices because you bolded everything. Stop bolding it. RESTful APIs, good. Yeah, so I just did not see Java. And I cannot move you forward for a Java position if you don't have Java. I will do that, and then somehow you will end up not having it and the manager will get mad at me. And I've had that happen before early in my career. I once thought I knew better. I'm like, no, they clearly have it. And I sent them forward, and guess what? Lo and behold, they didn't have the skill, and I wasted the manager's time for 30 minutes. And that is true bad recruitment, is that if it is, I broke the own rule. But if it's not on the resume, it doesn't exist. And I don't see Java on this resume under a bullet point that shows how you used it and the reason or result. So that is why you're going to be having some problems. Just literally switch out this for Java and put it up front and stop bolding everything. Like, if you, honestly, you had almost everything else, but I needed Java. So just fix the formatting and put Java up here instead of this, And I think you've got everything. Did I see... I actually did not see cloud. Did I miss cloud? So yeah, I would like some cloud, but even then you'd had the rest of everything. I'd be moving you forward. But I couldn't move you forward because you didn't have Java. And I know how ridiculous that sounds. I know. I have had this same argument with nurses, with accountants, with managers, with software engineers. Every single profession thinks you do not need to put it, that it's obvious. But every single profession is wrong. You need to put the obvious in your resume. Your resume is a minimum qualification document. And knowing Java is a minimum qualification to being a Java engineer. Thus, it needs to be on your resume, because if it is not under, and again, you need to show me how you use it, then it does not count, and your resume will get yeeted and deleted. So I hope that rant made sense, but that is like the most common mistake. If you take one thing from any of my videos, it's if it's basic, it should be on there twice. If it does not exist on your resume, you do not have the skill. That is like the number 2 biggest rule. So I hope that was at least helpful. And before we go to the next resume, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, leave me a comment. You can tell me how wrong I am. I'm going to fight you on this one particular. This one, I've had to fight professionals for my entire career, and I've always ended up being right about it. So you can let me know in the comments, and that's fine. And if you need more help to find out how I find these qualifications, you can join me on my Twitch chat every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. PST. That's where I answer questions live, and I find these, and I do more stuff than I can do in a YouTube video. Otherwise, this would be like 2.5 hours entirely, and it's already kind of long. So twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a product manager. That is the only information they stated. They did not say how long they've been looking. They did not tell me their ratio of applications to interviews. They didn't tell me nothing. Just a product manager. So what I would look for in a product manager is the industry. I cannot put all the qualifications for specific industries because I would be here all day and I'd probably miss some, but typically product managers are going to be specialized in a particular industry. Maybe that's healthcare, maybe that's tech, maybe that's potato farming, I don't know, but they're all going to be slightly different. So what I am going to be looking for is influencing teams, cross-functional, agile, multitask, that you've used like Google Apps, so Docs, Sheets, Slides, or Excel, along with Atlassian and Jira and Slack. And here's a huge one that a lot of people don't have, is explain complex topics to non-technical people, and how you solve problems, and, you know, your education up at the top. So that is what we're going to be looking for. All right. Nope, don't need this. So unless you are relocating, you have a visa you need to explain, or you're changing industries, you don't want a summary. Or you're a high level director, but those are the 3 exceptions. So this does not meet one of the exceptions. I do not need this. I need those things. These are things I'd be looking for, but I need them here. Okay? I need them in this part. I cannot have them here. They don't count. This is why skills sections don't count. In addition, your education should be up at the top. Normally, okay, so here's what you want to do with this. You have a Master's of Business Administration. This should not be bolded, but it should be in 2 lines, including the top part. And then this should be 1 line. I don't need your internship. And you don't need to tell me when you started, so delete. I don't actually think people can see this on the screen. Delete this and delete this. I just need to know if you graduated and not always when you graduated. Just that you did graduate. So your resume should look like this. So it should be, this is how I want your education to look. Now, this person, again, they did some cool stuff with awards. So there can be another section under here about the awards. But beyond that, it should be 1 line for this, 1 line for the next one, and then maybe the awards. Well, the awards should be nestled between the 2. So then we can do their first job. Execute a rollout of products. Okay, what products, right? Like, I guess fintech, but I don't know what your product was. This is too broad. I want more details here. If you are a product manager, you need to tell me more details. So, launched a X annual revenue SaaS product. Good. With, I don't know what this part is. What do you mean % client enrollment? You could say which above and beyond our KPIs are met, but I don't want to hear percentages because I don't know what those would mean. First quarter post-launch by defining roadmap, scoping, and securing buy-in. So this is actually a solid bullet point. I like this. It's a little wordy, but I still like it, and I'm not a fan of whatever this number will be, but not a bad bullet point otherwise. Market solutions, again, I don't know what PRD is. Club engineering design, you already said cross-functional, so I don't need to see that again. Accelerated cross-functional, again, you already said cross-functional. Where do you explain complex topics? You do not. Where do you show that you've used Excel, Google, Slack, Jira, Atlassian? You kind of said you influence teams, but I'm missing a lot of stuff. I also don't know how you solve problems. You told me that you solved problems, but you didn't tell me how you did that. So there's a lot here that I don't know. Now, I do like the SaaS, but I'm still not sure about your industry. I assume it's SaaS fintech, but I don't even know if that's right. Engagement, again, this part's okay. Everything is cross-functional, which is good that you have it, but there's too much. My problem is I don't know what you do. Right? Like, I need it to be here. I assume it's just SaaS and payments, but like, I don't know what the product was. I don't know how you influenced it. I do like that you did roadmaps and features and buy-in from cross-functional teams, but how did you explain the complex topics to stakeholders and people like me? This is the part that you're missing. In addition, you kind of even did that when you submitted to me because you did not leave a note or anything. You just filled out the bare minimum, and I don't know what you did enough. I don't know the ratio of how much it's helping or not. So you need to make it clearer to read, which you need to do here. So make it look like this. And then I need to know a little bit more about how you explain complex topics to non-technical people, like stakeholders, and how you solved problems. Because I don't know what a problem was, and I don't know how you solved it. And it's just overall too technical. You cannot have it be too technical. It needs to be for the lowest common denominator, and I'm including myself in that. So that's all I can do for this resume. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a Go developer, maybe a Go developer. I'm not actually sure. So I had to try and look up the Go and Golang or whatever it's called. And the problem is I could not find practically any jobs. So Golang had or Golang, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's probably had like 52 jobs in the United States alone. And that was it. And Go had 3. So I don't know if there actually is a real title. It probably sounds like you want to be another type of developer that has some Go or Golang or whatever. Golang, whatever it's called. Rather than a direct developer from it. Although apparently you could make some big bucks if you were a Golang developer. Some of them are paying pretty big. So I'm gonna maybe assume this is gonna be a mix of a full stack, but this may not be correct. In addition, this person states they want an internship. So for an intern, this is actually a lot easier to do because you really don't need a ton. So you do need your degree, right? You need a basic knowledge of the tech stack. In this case, I don't know if you want to go for Go because there's like practically no jobs for it, but just a basic knowledge. We're talking like the primary language, so Java or Python or .NET, and then, you know, if it's front end, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and then maybe a library too like Docker, and then SQL and Cloud, and you're good. And then the rest of it is the ability to work with others and take direction and criticism. So this person put a lot of stuff here, and I don't know if any of that is really relevant, but I'd always prefer more information than less when you give me this. So I think they're trying to get their first internship. So that is what we're going to try to look for, is specifically intern. So this is just going to be, instead of a Go developer, which I was not able to actually find, is going to be a software engineer intern. So with all that out of the way, let's actually review the resume. All right, technical skills I don't need. Again, these can be deleted. This should be one line. But this person did something incredibly amazing, which nobody does, and I want to point this out because this is amazing. This person has a double fluency in language. It is insanely hard to recruit for people that are bilingual. This person, if you are bilingual, you put it up where this person did. This is fantastic. I'm giving them so much props for this. You need to do this. If you know 2 languages fluently, put them up at the top, just like this. I don't care if my format is not followed exactly up at the top. Cool. Does it say all this? I don't care, because you stated bilingual. Now, that may not matter too much for an intern, but oh boy, when you apply for a full-time role, that is amazing. A friend of mine said a metaphor is that if you have 2 languages and the company is looking for it, you could throw your resume in a brick through their window and they'd be thankful for it. So double languages are so hard to recruit for. This should be 1 line. I don't need this more of that. Again, this should be deleted. So back down to the actual projects. Nothing here should be bolded. Please stop bolding everything. It makes it hard to read. So web app creating, user preview, and shaders and environment. Don't care. But that's okay that you gave me a description, but these should be wrapped up into it. You should say created a web app using blah, 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 blah. But also, where is your go? I don't see it. It cannot be here, all right? There's a reason I do not count it if it's here. It has to be here and stated, okay? You have to state it and how you used it. Oh, here it is. This is why you don't bold everything. I missed it. My eyes went to RESTful API and then it went up to here and then it went down to here. I actually missed the go. This is why you don't bold everything. Please stop bolding everything. I hate when everybody bolds everything. Integrated remote SQL commands. So your problem with this is a little too technical. I actually don't think it's too terrible. You just need to not be so technical with it, because this is way too technical. Integrated remote post database of commands to persist over session users to the 40%. No. Just say, integrated PostSQL databases and created a SQL commands to persist user sessions and credentials. You don't need to tell me about reducing server by whatever to whatever. Okay. Developed a reusable React components to reduce code duplication. That would be fine. But again, my big thing here is, oh, here it is. Worked in a, stop bolding everything. Stop bolding it. Worked in a 4-person research group with an agile workflow splitting React. That's actually really solid. So this is a good bullet point. I want you to keep this. I would like to know how you worked well with others in addition to this, because this just said you worked in a research group. This does not say how you took criticism, how you took direction, how you worked with them when there were disputes. Those are the things I'd be looking for, but this is actually a very good bullet point. So delete this, because again, I don't care if it's up here. It needs to be in here. And stop bolding everything because it's making it harder. And I know you're worried about not having any formal experience, but this is fine. This is fine experience. This is solid experience. You just need to tell me how you took direction, how you organized stuff so that you all worked together. Did you meet weekly where you discussed ideas? That's what I want to hear. So your formatting is mostly the issue. Your actual bullet points are mostly good. I do need a little bit more of the direction and criticism and working well with others, but otherwise, if you just fixed the formatting and you added those 2 bullet points, I think you're going to be fantastic at getting your interview. So that's all I can do for this. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a IT help desk / IT support specialist. So they're basically the same thing. This person has a terrible ratio, so they have it takes them 150 applications to get a single interview. So I'm expecting this to be very bad. It might be higher than 150 to 1. So yeah, it's 150 plus. So I'm expecting this to be very, very bad. So what we're going to be looking for in IT support specialist help desk, and remember, you do not need all of these. You just need about 75%. You need Mac OS, Linux, Android, Windows, and then the version number. So basically, what are you supporting? Education, you want that at the top. Customer service, IP, troubleshooting, problem solving. That one's huge. I would say the most important one is they want to see that you can troubleshoot and solve problems. Office, Microsoft 365, networking stuff, so DNS, DHCP, TCP, IP, VPN, multitask and meet deadlines. Industry, again, this is going to change. Like maybe it's phones, maybe it's cloud, maybe it's computer repair, whatever. So whatever the specific industry is, and then it's going to change. So like LAN, WAN, that kind of stuff. Microsoft Office suites, which I know is part of 365, but still. And a bonus is CompTI, Microsoft Certified Desktop Support, and yeah, that. So Brain. All right. So yeah, this is why you don't do this. Don't start off with the summary like this. Again, there are only 3 reasons you want a summary: if you're relocating, if you are have to explain a visa, or you're changing industries. So you do not meet those qualifications. So this can be deleted safely. Now, education. Yeah, this is fine. You have education at the bottom. That should be up at the top. I want to see your CIS associates up at the top. And where's your CompTI? That's why you want this up at the top, is because CompTI is a huge thing in IT support. And I want to see your associates. I want to see your CompTI, then your other certificate, and then your bachelor's right down here. This is what it should look like. But you have just wasted this entire space of it. Prepared training material. Why do I care about that? Constructed detailed forecast reports, boosting productivity and accuracy tracking. I don't... What? What? Did you use ChatGPT to write this? This means nothing. Enhanced clarity and project financial... What is this? None of this is what I'd be looking for. Spearheaded consolidation of financial enhancing audit Reddit. Please stop using corporate language in your resumes. I know people assume it works. It doesn't. This is what a bad resume reads like, and this is why it's a bad resume. It's getting 150 to 1. Optimize cash flow report. You've told me nothing. Here's my problem. You have told me absolutely nothing in this entire thing. Timely interpreted deadlines. Okay, that one. This one is actually okay. This is like your only good one. Nothing else. Yeah, this can't be deleted. Why are you telling me about your auditing? I want to know about your IT support. Nothing here is related. Your entire resume can be summed up of a single sentence, which is provided timely support under pressure, ensuring financial process. Even then, it's not written very well. I would write that as like provided customer service under strict deadlines, which I met. Like, that's a fine way to say it. So this entire resume needs to be yeeted and deleted. There's nothing in here I could... Oh, there's your certificate. Jeez, I missed it because it's all in the wrong place. So you need to redo this entire thing. First off, the formatting's a mess, but your bullet points tell me nothing. This reads like ChatGPT, and maybe you didn't use ChatGPT. Cool, still reads like it. I mean, I can't tell... Recruiters can't tell if a resume is AI or not, but we can tell if a resume is bad, and AI makes bad resumes. This means nothing. There's nothing here I want. Even if I was looking for an account executive, you did not write these in a way that would lead to me to show the qualifications. This is how I want you to write it. It's on my website. Links are below. You need to look at this. This is how I want everybody's resume to read, except high-level directors, but the bullet points should still be the same. But this has absolutely nothing. And I'm trying not to be mean to you. Well, I don't want to be like, oh, junk, but like, this is why you're having so much trouble, is this means nothing. You have said absolutely nothing. You've said, you know what? This is going to sound weird. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, their most recent episode at the time of recording this, has them watch a corporate retreat. This resume reads like the gang talking about that. It's just like, well, what we need to do is synergize as the bird flies for accuracy in our project so that we can circle back and ensure adherence to our deadlines. You've said, like, that means nothing. Like, you sound like the gang in Always Sunny in Philadelphia saying that, which is a hilarious show. But this is what it sounds like. There's nothing here. You can look at some of the other successful resumes I've seen. They don't sound like this. So your formatting, yeah, definitely needs work because I completely missed your cert. But the rest of this is garbage. This is why you don't use like ChatGPT. It doesn't tell anything. I can find nothing in it. So this is why you're having a problem, because these are the qualifications. I need to find these. I don't see any of them, and they need to be in a bullet point, written in a way that shows how you use that and the result or reason of it. So that's all I can do for this one. It's not good. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of I have no idea. I'll be honest. I don't know what this person is. So that was from the last one. This person. Okay, sorry. I spent a while trying to read what they were saying, and I could not figure it out. They haven't been able to find work in tech since 2022. They finished their degree, and then removing that they're currently near the tail end of their CS degree with 2 courses left. They started a cyber degree. Currently, their interview ratio is well over 150 to 1 to account previous years as it's gotten. So since working there's so much here. I primarily put entry-level IT roles along with cybersecurity and software dev roles. Practically given up on applying for internships. So they want me to be as harsh as possible. And here is your primary problem. I don't even need to look at your resume to know exactly what the problem is you listed that you would like to be, and I'm going to quote what you wrote me, a service reliability analyst, a help desk systems administrator, a systems engineer, an entry-level internship, or software dev. Those are all different. So I am going to instead talk to you about what a resume is, because I think you may misunderstand the fundamental principle of a resume. A resume is not a snapshot of your career history. If you do your entire career, you will fail. And the fact that you are failing, I know exactly why. The problem is it's not focused. A service reliability analyst, a IT engineer, a help desk admin, a systems engineer, and an internship, and a software dev is a minimum of 6 separate resumes. You cannot have the resume that gets you a job as a back-end back-end Python developer will fail to get you a job as a back-end Java developer, will fail to get you a job as a systems engineer. Resumes, by their nature, are job title specific. They are a snapshot of what you have done that is relevant to that job. Right now, your resume is a hodgepodge of everything you've ever done, and that is why it's failed. Because it doesn't, I'm not trying to be mean, but like, if I am recruiting for a back-end Python engineer, I don't care that you have any of these IT certs. I'm not asking you to be a cybersecurity person. I'm not asking you to be a help desk. I'm asking you to be a back-end Python developer. If you're looking for a cybersecurity role, I don't care if you are a help desk person. You know what? Help desk might be slightly related, but it's still not the exact one I'm looking for. But I don't care if you're a Python developer. I don't care if you're a systems admin. I want to know specifically only things that are related to cybersecurity. So you have listed a bare minimum of 6 different resumes in the job, and this is why. So yeah, this is a bad format, whatever. The bad format isn't the problem. The problem is you are a software engineer, and then I see immediately CompTIA stuff, and then I see cybersecurity, and then I see down here, I see C# certification, which I assume is for the software part, and then I go down here, and it's a Fedora server. Well, milady, I don't need any of that information. And then I go down to a defense, which is back to cyber, and then a security operations, which I guess is cyber, and then you have a software developer, which is not what I'm looking for. You cannot do this. Oh, in addition, this is one of the worst. So there are 2 red flags here. I'm going to give everybody a couple of seconds to see if they can see the 2 red flags that I found right here. There are 2 giant red flags. Giving you a couple of seconds to find out while I take a drink of water. 1, being a founder or a CEO is a giant red flag. That is red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 is you did not include months on your dates in the experience. For education, you don't need to put the months. That's fine. You know, it doesn't really matter what month you graduated on. But the months for work or internships matter deeply. You need to put the months. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you started this job that you founded in 2021 December and left in 2022 January. That is what it reads for me. And then in addition, you then go to Python. But you also have the C# cert. So your resume is bad because it's not focused. You basically have gone and done put everything together into a giant hodgepodge of an abomination, and people don't hire based on Frankenstein resumes. Even if they do hire based on multiple hats, it's very rare, and they usually state that in the job description. Otherwise, they want it to be focused. So you need to redo all of this, and you may have to remake it 6 times, because I don't know what you're looking for. I still don't know what you're looking for. If you want the help desk qualifications, previous review has those, so you can copy those. So I don't think I need to do them again. But like, you can't. This is why you're getting rejected is, yeah, the formatting should look like this. It's bad formatting, but there's nothing here. If you're applying to a Python role as a cybersecurity expert, they're not looking for a cybersecurity expert. They're looking for a Python dev. They're looking for somebody to code in Python. They're not looking for this. If you're applying to a help desk person and it's entirely cybersecurity, they will probably yeet your resume because they think, well, they're overqualified and this is not the kind of work they're doing. Resumes are job title specific, and you need to have it be a job title specific. So that is why you've had absolutely terrible luck, is because there's nothing here that I would want, because it's not focused, right? Like, if you go to a restaurant and you say, I want spaghetti, and what they give you is a hamburger wrapped in tomato sauce that has like 5 bits of the spaghetti on it, and then a sushi inside of that is deep fried in a burrito that is then topped with celery, you're not going to be happy about it. And that's what you gave me. You gave me that abomination. So I hope that was harsh enough that it made sense, but this is why you're having a problem, is this means it's not focused. Your resume is focused on a job title, not the individual job, but a job title. If it is not focused on a job title or niche of job titles, such as backend Python software engineer compared to backend Java software engineer compared to full stack software engineer, then it's going to fail. And that is why you're failing. And this is another giant mistake that people make. So you need to focus this. In fact, I don't even care about your cybersecurity degree for your Python role. You shouldn't even have your CS degree for the cyber role. So you need to split this into how many resumes you are looking for, and then need to actually focus down on the qualifications for those roles. The guide I made should be able to help you, but that's all I can do. And I hope that was harsh enough to help and not harsh enough to hurt. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a new grad backend software engineer. I think they're full stack. This person cannot get an email back. They've been looking since December 2004, which is not great, but yeah, job market's also pretty terrible. So they have a over, I assume, 150 to 1 ratio. That's what they stated. They just said 150 plus, so that takes them over 150 applications to get to a single interview. And what we're going to be looking for in a full stack is, I think I did in this video, I'm trying to do longer videos, but just in case, TypeScript, Python, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, Next.js, MongoDB, SQL, React.js, API, REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and bonus points for architecture, extra language, and Git. At least in the US, the UK, and the EU may have slightly different qualifications. So, first off, this is an abomination of a resume because of the coloring. I don't know why everything is green. It looks like you're trying to advertise me gamer fuel or something. I don't know what this is and why it's like this. So, first off, your entire resume, with the exception of this, because this your contact information, so exception of this, should be black and white. You should not have any other color besides black and white in your entire resume. Stop bolding things. Also, I cannot click this for some reason, so I cannot hyperlink anything. So stop bolding everything. It makes it worse. Or in this case, coloring it a separate color. This is so shipped the blank React.js. React is good. Prototyping, I don't care about that. Fast API. Problem is, I'm really looking for RESTful APIs. I should have put that, but whatever. In Python, but I don't care about Vercel. OpenAI and AI is okay. To 11 labs of therapy. Langchan. No, I don't care about that as much. MongoDB is good. Cool. Here's my problem. You're a full stack. Where is your TypeScript, JavaScript, and CSS, HTML? This is the core. I say you need 75% of the qualifications. That's true, but you basically need all of these, although you can replace TypeScript with Python. But I need to see JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and then either TypeScript or Python, hopefully both. Where is that? I don't see any of that. In fact, I did not see TypeScript or Python. You filled this with junk. Because remember, if it's not here, I don't care about it. And yes, there may be some slight differences, but the vast majority of companies, full stack software engineers, are going to have the same skills. You may get Bob's potato bobbery that has some crazy stuff, but it's still going to work at 99% of the companies. So I need these, and I don't have these. I don't have TypeScript, Python, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. That is like the core, the core, the core. I did see React, which is good, although I barely saw it because this is in some weird green scripting, which makes it worse. But the rest of this, and I saw MongoDB, but the rest of this I don't really care about besides like Git. So, excuse me. Built a Flask in React. Okay, cool. Again, where's this? You filled this with LangChain and llamas and Flask and NodeMailer and BC Crypt and optplib. I don't know what optplib is. Hardened Authentication RFC 6238 TOTP OTplib. I don't know what that is. Selenium, I don't care about. Beautiful Soup, I don't care how pretty your soup is. I care that you've used SQL. In fact, I don't think I see SQL at all. You're missing most of it. This is why you're getting rejected. Is you're missing the core at the very top. Oh, also in your education is all the way here. Your education needs to be at the very top. Very, very, very top. Okay, like this BS Dean's List. I don't need your coursework. This should be one line. You should be able to fit Dean's List and this into one line. So this is why you're having such an issue. Is A, the job market's terrible. Let's face it, it's very bad. But B, you don't have what I'm looking for. These are the minimum qualifications. It doesn't matter if you can leap a tall building in a single bound if you can't make a piece of toast. That was a weird metaphor and I didn't like it. But you don't have what I'm looking for. You have Python, which is okay, but you did not have JavaScript, CSS, HTML. I did not see Node. I did not see Angular. I did see MongoDB, and I think I did see Next.js. I did not see SQL. I did see React. I did see an API, and I did not see Cloud. I did not see Agile. I think I saw CI/CD, but I cannot find it again. There it is, yeah. CI/CD, which is good, and cross-functional. So you have about 40%, but you're missing the most important part. So that's all I can do for this resume. I hope that was at least helpful. If you need more help, again, you can always stop on my Twitch chat every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlesshunter. Please like, comment, subscribe. Even if you yell at me, the algorithm loves it. It's like the Chaos God Corn from Warhammer 40k, cares not from whence the hate flows. But, they share my content if you like, hit the bell, and I just want to help you get a job. I want to help as many people as I can get a job, and I will see you all in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search.